Three alien bodies from a UFO crash in 1941 in Missouri, and a priest actually gave last rites to these aliens. What? So I'm going to be briefly talking about this encounter today. So this allegedly happened in April of 1941. This was in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And allegedly there was a UFO crash, crashed into the ground in a field in rural Cape Girardeau in Missouri. So apparently the local sheriff, who's named Reverend William Huffman, he went to the local Red Star Baptist Church, so obviously a Christian, and so he was invited to go to the scene of this crash to read the last rites to these victims. And so William had no idea, he just thought it was just like a regular crash scene. So he arrives at the scene and he sees like a group of firemen, police officers, and the military, all coming upon this scene. And apparently he sees a typical saucer-shaped craft embedded into the field, and there's three alien bodies laying around it. Allegedly two are dead, but one is still alive. So he looks at the craft again, and it's got that metallic look. It doesn't have any seams to it. It's got a hole in the side of it, and it's nothing like William Huffman has ever seen before. So he's mystified about what he's looking at here. So these aliens apparently were the typical looking gray aliens. They had the large heads, the big black eyes, but they were about 5 feet tall. So taller than most of your typical gray encounters that are reported. Usually grays are like 3 to 4 feet tall. But there have been reports of tall grays. So maybe these were some of those. We don't know. So like I said, two of the aliens were allegedly dead. One was alive. And apparently he read the last rites to this alien that was alive first, and then to the other two. Now, as far as documentation goes, we really don't have anything to go on. There were no pictures taken that we're aware of. There was evidence from the local fire department that there was an actual incident, some type of crash, but beyond that, we don't know what that crash was. Could have been a conventional military aircraft, or it could have been a smaller plane, or any number of things. We simply just don't know. So as far as witnesses go, there was the police officers apparently and the firefighters, but as far as I can tell, none of them have been named. So we really don't have any first-hand evidence. This is all second-hand evidence and testimony. So we really don't have a lot to go on. But, we got to, put this in context. If this happened in 1941, Roswell was in 1947, so that's a 6-year, gap there. Did it really occur? Were the reports accurate? We simply don't know. So it's an interesting story, but beyond that, we don't have a lot of detail. We don't have a lot of documentation. So it's interesting to think about that it may have happened. Again, why would an alien craft be in Missouri? What would be the purpose of that if they were there? Again, why would it have crashed? All those questions. As far as like Roswell goes, we have allegations that they were drawn to the nuclear weapons that were near Roswell. But obviously in 1941, there were no nuclear weapons. So what would have been the draw to the area? And again, why would the craft have crashed? So that being said, I want you guys to do your due diligence and do your research into this as well. But this is about all we have to go on. So we just got to continue doing our research and digging into this story. I'm going to see if I can, get some, maybe like some newspapers or newspaper articles from that day and see, if there's anything there. I do know that UFO researcher Ryan S. Wood went down there with a companion. I don't remember what his name was, but they did some digging as well. And I know that Ryan mentioned that in his book, Magic Eyes Only. And so in that account, he's talking about the fact that he went out there with a metal detector, didn't really find anything, looking for bits of the crashed craft, but he alleges that, if the military was there, they would have wiped the area clean so there wouldn't be any debris left to find. So, maybe, but we simply don't know. So anyways, just wanted to give you guys that heads up about this incident. Like I said, as I get more information, more details, if I can find that, I'll definitely let you guys know. So I appreciate all your support, really appreciate our subscribers. If you would, please like and share and comment on this video. That really does help the channel. So again, you can look at all the research that I've done thus far with UFOs on my website. So it's at exosolariaunion.com. So that's EXOSOLARIAUNION.com, exosolariaunion.com. Thank you again. Have a great day.